Imagine a world where English is just a forgotten language of barbarians, and Latin is the language of the internet, science, and space. The Pax Romana never ended. It grew into a global system. What would the political map look like today? Let's take a peek into an alternate 2025. Rome controls all of the Mediterranean. No France, Spain, or Turkey, just provinces. Gibraltar is blocked by a giant dam, Atlantropa, and on Mars, there are already colonies. But Rome isn't alone in this game. Who are its rivals? Let's start with the heart of the empire, our Mediterranean lake. Imagine a world where the Mediterranean Sea is a giant freshwater lake, Mare Nostrum, the birthplace of a new civilization. It's not just a body of water, but a huge water system that feeds the once dry deserts of North Africa. Thanks to it, the Sahara has turned into a blooming garden, and the Nile, connected to new water channels, became the base for an amazing farming revolution. In this world, there are no nation-states of Western Europe as we know them. Instead, there are only provinces of one empire that stretches from Britain to Mesopotamia. Gaul, Hispania, Germania. These are not separate countries, but administrative units, all run from one central place. Stability and order, Pax Romana, are kept not by weak alliances, but by unbreakable imperial law. The ports, these huge trading centers, are buzzing with activity. Reborn Carthage and Carthago Nova are not just cities, but key hubs that connect Atlantropa's economy with the rest of the world. Through them flow goods, ideas, and people, making the connections stronger between the farthest corners of the empire. In the east, Anatolia plays a double role. It's both a breadbasket that feeds millions and a Silicon Valley where the most advanced tech is made. Its rich lands and new idea centers are the backbone of the empire's economic power, mixing old-school farming with cutting-edge science. The government system is a special mix of old Republican ideas and a complex cyber bureaucracy. The Senate, magistrates, and people's assemblies still work, but their tasks are made better with algorithms and artificial intelligence. Citizens take part in politics by using personal signet rings to vote and show who they are. The empire is held together by many layers of control. Provinces, vassal kingdoms, and federates, the people living on the borders, form a complex web of connections. This allows for flexible management of huge areas and quick responses to local problems. However, the main problem in 2025 isn't the threat of falling apart, but too many people. A century of peace and good times has led to a population boom, which puts a lot of pressure on everything and all the resources. Rome, the eternal city, has become a huge city with 50 million people. It's the beating heart of the empire, where the greatness of the past meets the tech of the future. Its streets, forums, and neighborhoods have grown to amazing sizes, becoming home to people from all over the world. To support so many people, old engineering ideas were rethought. Modern aqueducts are giant skyscrapers that not only bring water, but also have vertical farms that feed and water the city, creating self-contained ecosystems in the middle of the huge city. At the core of this success is the huge engineering project Atlantropa. By blocking off the Strait of Gibraltar, the Romans not only changed the climate of a whole region, but also turned it into the energy center of the empire. This huge dam is a symbol of human will, able to change the very geography of the planet. Here, where two seas and continents meet, gigawatt-hours of clean hydropower are made, powering cities, factories, and transportation networks from Britain to Egypt. Deserts have been turned into gardens, but this victory over nature comes with a cost. The lower sea level and changes in water saltiness have led to huge changes in the environment, forever altering the plants and animals of the Mediterranean and Atlantic. This is a constant reminder of the responsibility that rests on the shoulders of those who create a new world. In this reality, old crafts haven't disappeared. They've joined with new technologies. Merchant guilds, not faceless corporations, manage global supply chains. keeping old traditions alive and bringing in new ways to move goods. Education, built on Latin, covers everything, from classic logic to quantum programming. And old traditions continue in new ways. Gladiator fights have become amazing light shows, and amphitheaters are now open-air movie theaters. Peace in these vast lands is kept by high-tech legions, whose power even reaches space, which has become another border of the Mediterranean world. The empire keeps things stable, but its borders are living, changing areas of interaction and tension. The heart of this civilization is water, roads, and unbreakable order. But clouds are gathering on the horizon. There, in distant lands, new powers are growing. Other empires whose ambitions and might will soon challenge Rome's rule. While Rome was bringing the West together, the Han Empire stood strong in the East. This isn't just modern China, it's a civilization that has kept its government going for thousands of years, holding on to its structure. Its strength comes from its Confucian government, which works like a perfect clock, and a belief in harmony that touches every part of society. A global Cold War started between these two giants. It wasn't about fighting with weapons, but a quiet, intense game on a huge chessboard. Each piece on the board was an economic project, a new invention, or a deal between countries. The main place where they competed was the vast lands of Siberia. Here, in the frozen ground, are huge amounts of rare earth metals and helium-3. These are super important for space programs and a special kind of energy called fusion power. There's also a fierce fight for control over the Indian Ocean, which is a key trade route for the whole world. Roman and Han companies are competing to build ports, offering good deals to local countries if they agree to be loyal. Space has become a new area where they try to show their power. Space stations and moon bases are just ways for them to show what they want politically. In this big global game, a third player showed up. A united Europe, working as one, discovered America centuries earlier. But instead of taking over and hurting people, Rome brought trade. They set up trading posts and made deals with the local city-states. Today, where the Aztec and Maya empires used to be, a powerful economic and political group has grown, the League of New Rome. Trading in a way that helps everyone makes this alliance across the Atlantic very strong. It gives the League full control over its culture and politics, as long as it joins in with the economy. The borders between their areas of influence are always tense, but there's no hot war. Everyone knows that a direct fight would be a disaster for all. So the battle has moved to the internet, where thousands of attacks happen every second on money systems and important networks, and they are always watching the sea lanes, because if supplies are cut off anywhere, it could cause a worldwide problem. It's also a battle of ideas, the Roman idea of virtus, which means goodness, duty, and being responsible for yourself, goes against the Han idea of harmony, order, and everyone working together. So the world is balancing in a delicate way between three centers of power: Rome, Han, and the League of New Rome. And as long as swords stay in their sheaths, this time of careful competition allows trade, science, and culture to grow like never before. Imagine a world that never knew the Dark Ages. A world where ancient wisdom didn't fade away, but instead fueled the flames of progress. In this reality, the Industrial Revolution, which happened for us in the 18th century, exploded 7 centuries earlier, in the 11th. Roman engineering ideas, supercharged by new discoveries, kicked off an amazing leap in technology. Steam, gears, and perfect roads covered the empire with a thick network, connecting Britain to Egypt. This wasn't just about moving things. These were the veins and arteries through which Rome's economic and military power pulsed. Let's fast forward to our time, to the year 2025 in this other history. Here, artificial intelligence doesn't just exist, it speaks Latin. This language, which is dead to us, is the universal code here for science, law, and government, making it the perfect base for the most complex digital systems. Spaceports, built to look like ancient triumphal arches, became symbols of a new era, the era of conquering space. Every rocket launch is a triumph of human genius, reaching for the stars. On Mars, the first permanent colonies already exist, named after the god of war. These aren't just outposts, they're full-fledged cities under domes, where the Roman way of life is recreated. Here, on the Red Planet, engineers and scientists are testing advanced terraforming technologies and fully automated logistics, getting Mars ready for a big colonization in the future. Along with the colonists, Roman law also made its way to other planets. Lex Romana, updated for new situations, governs life on Mars, proving it works everywhere, even in space. In this world, Rome never became Christian. Its spirituality is neo-paganism, which is more like a way of thinking than blind faith. It's based on being strong and respecting ancestors. The religious worship here is another way of saying good citizenship. The main good qualities are smarts, bravery, fairness, and helping the community. It's not about believing in magic, but believing in people and what they can do. The most sacred place in the empire, the Pantheon in Rome, is now its main server center. It's not just a place to store data, it's a digital oracle that processes information from all over the solar system. Right here, in the maze of fiber optics and quantum processors, beats the digital heart of the empire, keeping it connected and stable. Technology is part of everyday life. Personal signet rings are your biometric ID, digital wallet, and the key to all government services. Medicine is fully automated, public, and available to every citizen. AI-controlled robot surgeons perform operations with incredible precision. Education has also changed a lot. Virtual amphitheaters let the empire's best teachers share knowledge with millions of students at once, no matter where they are. In this civilization, technology and tradition don't fight each other. They walk hand in hand, tightly woven together like the columns of a grand porch leading humanity to a new golden age. Would such a world be better, or is it eternal tyranny? Tell us in the comments which province you'd like to see next. Let's see how the borders changed. Stabilization, acceleration, the New World, and the Hydro Empire. Space milestones cemented a global presence. Generate your own image. Roman legionary and futuristic cybernetic armor. SPQR logo. Cinematic lighting. Or a city? Cyberpunk Rome City with marble skyscrapers and flying chariots. Let's compare. Corporations versus guilds. The UN versus the SPQR Federation. Network language changes thinking. Nations versus the provincial matrix. Alliances as oaths, not treaties. The World of Rome 2025, possible through imagination. Subscribe so you don't miss the next province. Which one to choose? You decide. Veil, and see you in the next world.